Sidney, you've been here in the watching all these primary candidates discuss issues, and we were talking about your perspective on Trump. You want to go ahead and let us know what you think?
Well, I think it was a surprise to most of the people here that Trump did win the nomination. Or just win the state here. I don't quite get his views. I don't personally don't get his views, and I think most of the people in the state don't get his views as well. But he has a good following here, and I don't know where this is leading to. I don't know if it's going to go any further. But with the back and forth, we thought he would be out by now. I thought he would be fading away, but he seems hanging in there pretty good. So his views, his values, I personally don't agree with, but obviously other people do agree with him, and so we have to see how that's going to work out.
Let's talk about his specific views and discuss them because I kind of share your inclinations here. uh, so he has the mass deportation plan of 11 million. He calls them illegal aliens or undocumented workers, or they're illegal immigrants, let's call them. And they've been here for years, productive citizen, productive residents. They're working and peaceful. They're not violating anybody's rights, and he wants to deport them. And then he wants to bring them back expeditedly after they're, checked out.
Uh, that's an interesting, one of those interesting topics there. I personally, I think that it shouldn't be done. For one thing, they are here. They should stay here. He thinks, and he's talking to the people, that think that they may be a burden on the rest of the country, not contributing to the country and the economy of the country. They're actually bringing the economy down. I think that's his main focus. Taxpayers, not really taxpayers, and so personally, I think that's a really bad issue for him, and for the rest of the country as well.
Let's talk about that. These illegal immigrants, they work and they consume a lot of goods like food, housing, clothing, transportation, you name it, they consume it. And so if they were kicked out, all the businesses that used to sell to them would have to fire people because they would have less customers, right?
Well, exactly, and that's to me. I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem. I think it will be a burden on the people that they are working for right now. So I
That would increase unemployment because a lot of people would have to be fired because at that moment, once the people have gone, they don't have the same demand for their product or their service as before. So you would lose jobs because people think that if they kick them out, that they'll gain jobs, that there'll be more jobs available so they can take their jobs, right? But that's not the case.
No, that's not the case because just look at it now. Illegal immigrants, they've been coming into this country for a long time, and they do the work that we don't do or we don't want to do. Okay, and it's sad to say, it's called cheap labor. One thing. Okay, so if they leave and there's no one to do the work, how things are going to get done? How the economy is going to work? So I think it's just really wrong to do that. I do think it's wrong to do that.
Right, and we haven't even talked about the human tragedy of kicking people taking them out of their homes and their children, and these children are U.S. citizens, they were born here, and there's no compassion there as far as what you're going to do to these people's lives. Do you recall what Trump's reasoning was of why he had to kick them out? Because I asked Trump this question. Why do you have to kick them out if your plan is to bring them back anyway? Why don't you process them here? You know what he answered?
No, I don't.
Well,
He
his
doesn't know the answer.
the answer he gave to other people, not to me, because he didn't like my question, was, it's the law. So I asked him this: can't we change the law? What do you think.
Yes, we can do anything we want to in this country.
Right,
Okay,
right.
all right. So that's one thing.
So you don't have to kick them out because it's a law. You're the president supposedly, and you have a Congress, and if the law is not right, you can change it.
Let me tell you, this country here. Immigrants have been coming to this country for a long time. We know the history about that. Okay, so when you have people here and you're going to displace them because their children are already citizens of the United States already. So why displace that? Why separate that? It doesn't quite make sense to me personally. It doesn't make sense to make that kind of accusation or make that kind of move. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't line up with this country. The things that his values doesn't line up with this country and their values and how they do treat other people. We're talking about human beings here.